hitting us and blaming and all this anger. But when I started reading, I told him, Dad, we have to forgive. We are responsible for all what's going on the planet and beyond. I am responsible. Impossible. I am possible. Because I started looking for my real being when I was 24. And I looked at the mirror, I said, either I kill or I heal. And I met beautiful people. One of them, Saint Musa Sadr, who is a Christ consciousness, and he looks like Christ. And then another man and another man and another nun, and wow, what's this? So there's life beyond this life. And then I started telling my so-called husband, I don't want to stay home and I want to do something. And I started working in the refugee camps and meeting all these mafia people, and I felt, what can I do? And I was in my 20s when I started working. I had my own school at home, and then somebody helped me, said, I rent for you. And I started teaching people, yes, do what you want and money will follow. I said, then it's time to have your own home, your own place, where you don't need at all somebody to help you. And I started. Where I was living in Hartlepool, a place where Christ and Muhammad together, one religion, the religiousness of the heart. And I started teaching women, don't be with the man because he's spending money on you. No, have your own money, work at home. And I had my own school where we teach them, be free. Stay with the man if you really love each other. And I did all these handicrafts. And I met beautiful people from the president and beyond, and before and after. The first and the last are one circle in my life. And I started, writing poetry and poems and whatever, and books, and met beautiful people. And since then I said, okay, I want to be alone. I divorced my husband, I took my daughter and we came to this house. She was 14, I was 34. So I said, let's live our life. And I started reading, and I started being on the media, the radio and some televisions, and I was with a beautiful man. He was a living Christ who named me Mariam. My name was Marie or Mary, and I didn't like the name because it's Christian, and my mother always hated me, and I do, because I'm after his sister-in-law. And you know what the in-laws are. In-law. So I met Musa Sadr, and he's a living Christ in my life. And I met many people like this. Not in Lebanon, very few here, but mainly I started traveling all over the planet and beyond and within. And how the money came. I came here, and as I told you, I was living with a very rich and loving person. And he said, you can have all what you need. I said, if I open the drawer and there is no money around, and if you open my heart and my mind and there is no science, there is no mystery, kick me out. So let's put science and dollars together. And he supported me money-wise. And he respected what I know. The more you support, the more. It's like I import from the inner port and the well. The more you take water, and the water will come. So I started reading and macrobiotic books. I had terminal cancer, breast and lungs, and went to many doctors, and you are like your mom, so a surgery. I said, no, my mother is Adam and Eve and the earth. There's something beyond this. And sure enough, I was invited. I started becoming a little bit famous then on radio, and a Catholic priest invited me. And I saw him eating something different, and I asked him, he said, do you have? I said, yes, I need help. Okay, the food. The next day I went to a German lady, and I said, give me a book, and I got the book, Zen Macrobiotics. The priest, the monk, was driving me back home, and I was reading, and he said, don't read the philosophy. The philosophy will tell that Christ is not God, and we are all gods, and we are all Christ consciousness. I said, you drive, and I drive in, you drive out. Because I read that 95% comes from our ignorance and our arrogance. War, diseases, name it. I came home, I finished the book, and this is the only book. Look and cook and throw the book. Then I went to church. It was my last time. I met a man there, but he doesn't have money to furnish his home. I said, come tomorrow, take all the furniture from my home. All the books, everything. One book is enough. Zen Macrobiotic by George Oshawa. And I started traveling out. Too many macrobiotic, conferences, workshops. And I said, there must be something then what we eat. Yes. I started meeting people like this, living Christian saints. I went back to university, 1972, and I started talking about what to eat, how to chew, and there's something beyond. But I had all the money that I need, and my daughter with me, and the monk that I met, he was a good friend, and he said, I support you. And he gave me a big monastery. I called it our home, Beitura. Okay? Many people, they started coming with cancers, with diseases, with, name it. And I started talking about the yin-yang, about male and female, about what to eat and why do we have 20 molars, 8 incisive, 4 canines, 32 here and 32 vertebrae. There is something in this body. There is a being, the driver of this car, the liver in this mystery called body. There is a being here. God is not there. God is not looking at penises and vaginas. There is no guilt, no sin, no prostitution. Whoever lies, that's the only prostitution, if you are not honest with yourself. That's it. So I started cooking. I started talking, and people coming here and going to radios and magazines, and people started, okay, let's listen to this crazy, hazy woman here in Lebanon. And then one of my friends, Lodi, her sister came from America, Fadia, and she said, everybody is talking like this all over the States, Europe, everywhere. I said, yes, I was in Europe. And I met many people. In Europe also, they said, it's time for you to go and live outside the Arab world. I said, now I'm here in Lebanon, going, and people, they come from all over Lebanon to listen. First, they started listening, and then truth is very dangerous. I started talking about there is no Christianity, Christ is not Christian, Muhammad is not Muhammadan, we are all God's conscious.